If you guys like earwax removals, if you guys like fungal infections, then this is the video for you because you've got them both in here. So my name is Reece Barber, I'm one of the audiologists here at Audiology Associates. What you can see here is we've got a very, very narrow canal. See how humid that canal is as well. There's a lot of moisture in this canal. Now, fungal infections thrive in warm, moist environments. So you get a lot in sort of more sort of tropical, humid climates. Not as often, you don't get as regularly here in climates like the UK where it's not humid, it's just wet all the time. But basically, what's happened here is this patient's got some wax, you can see it there, but they've got this very kind of mushy surround to this wax, so this mushy kind of debris in here. So just lifting from the front end, it's a bit of a strange consistency because you had that really, really solid piece. Now you've got this really kind of soft, sticky type of wax as well. Let me get rid of this mouse a minute so I can get a better look. Now I haven't seen this video all the way through. I've seen bits of it, but I haven't seen the whole thing. So what we can see now is lots of sticky wax there at the top, just peeling down, so some dead skin as well. And you get that a lot with fungal infections. It tends to sort of kill off almost the first layer of skin. And you'll see that peeling away looking at this. There you go. Look how that's peeling from the side of the canal wall. Now you've got the first little glimpse of some little spores there just on that piece of wax and skin that came away. You do see that in a bit more detail in a second. But look how pink and irritated the canal wall is underneath. Now that's another good indication you're looking at some form of infection. Let's just bring these pieces. You can see this is coming forwards ever so slowly. There you go. Difficult one to see because you've got these loose little hairs in there as well. So you've got quite a lot going on in this canal. We've got wax, we've got infection, and we've got those little tiny hairs. The tail's doing a good job here at avoiding those canal walls. Oh, look at that. Brought that nice big chunk forwards there. Very, very soft material here. So the way you would treat a fungal infection is you use antifungals. It's usually in the form of a drop. So it depends on what type of fungal infection it is as well. Look at that skin peeling away. Look at this coming away. Look at that. So yeah, you can get Aspergillus infections. You can get canistin. You can get oh my god, Candida infection. Sorry. There's a brand they call a canistin over here that's great for using on Candida infections. So it's kind of like a thrush infection, that kind of thing. But it's coming away really, really well. Look at all that skin. That's a heck of a lot of skin in there. He's struggling to keep the ear canal open there. You can see he's really kind of having to push along the side of the canal. Oh my goodness, look how much skin there is in there. Wow. My goodness me, that is a fair old amount of skin. So what are we left with here? Is this a wax plug now, or is this skin? Oh, it looks like it's skin. It's peeling. Yeah, that's definitely skin. You can see that kind of ripple effect to the side of it, and that's a good indication you're looking at a skin problem here. Now this, I think, is going to be pretty messy looking at the outside of this. Unless this last plug comes away cleanly, I think we're going to see... Yeah, look how soft that is. I think you're going to see some mushy debris, especially if we're looking at infection here as well. God, that is solidly packed in there, isn't it? You can see he's trying to unpeel this one side, just maneuver this plug. Is he going to be able to get this away? That looks pretty solid in there. That is a solid skin plug here. Now, sometimes we get these kind of quite large plugs of skin. When they sit in the ear canal, with baths and showers and things, water can sometimes get behind it, and because obviously skin is going to trap in there, which is going to make this a perfect breeding ground for infection. That's a heck of a plug of skin. My word. Is he going to be able to get that out? Or is he going to have to use a different set, right hook or curettage maybe? Or is he going for suction? I think he's going for the bigger tube on suction by the looks of it. There you go, yeah. God, you can see just how narrow that canal was as that suction tube was going in. It was really, really close to those canal walls on either side. But this is a big old plug, this one. Is it going to come away? Gosh, wow, that is a big piece of skin. He's fighting that in the canal, isn't he? Look at that. Whoa, that is a serious plug of skin. A little bit of tidying up to do by the looks of it. So you can see some looser debris here just at the entrance, but now we've got this thick flap. Whoa, I think I didn't expect that to be as big as it was then. This thick flap of skin there. Let's get rid of that. Oh, he's struggling there to get the view with the endoscope. You've got to be careful as you don't want that ear canal collapsing down around the endoscope and the suction tube, because it'll form a really good seal inside the canal, and then you suck all the air out. It's going to cause a few problems here. You can see he's tidying up as best he can. There's a lot of dead skin in there though. No obvious kind of, there was a few little fungal spores right at the beginning, but nothing further in. So he's just going to have a little attempt at tidying this eardrum. Now, this may come away, depends how hard it is. Yeah, that to me looks solid on there. Yeah, that's solid. You can see there was hardly any give then. When he went to grab a hold of that, you could see the actual eardrum flexing beyond. Yeah, he's trying there, but I would say that'll do on that side. So what have we got here then? We've got another, oh, now there you can see that kind of almost little furry patch at the top. You see Taylor's having a good old look around in there then. The little furry patch on the top of that piece of wax, and that was fungal spores. Now take a look at this now when it comes away. God, that is rock solid. That is absolutely rock solid. Let's see if we can lift this. Can you lift from the bottom here? Depends how much space you've got, really. Oh, he's aiming. You could just have a quick look at the top there. I think he was looking to see if himself, if he had a little bit of enough space to get up to that top end. Oh, he's trying to reposition this front section. Gosh, that's not going anywhere. Normally you get a little bit of detachment and then it moves to the opposing canal wall. You can't really, you run out of room there, you can't really detach it any further. Is this going to come away? I would have said that's not going anywhere. Where would you go with that? Possibly right hook, possibly forceps. Taylor loves a Rosen inserter, so it's whether he's going to go in with that maybe. What do we got? St. Bart's, that one is. So he's gone in with a St. Bart's hook. I can see why, because there was a bit of a gap at the top there. It's just not quite big enough to get that St. Bart's over the top. So what are we going in with now? I think that's, yep, that's St. Bart's again. So he's trying to get behind that section he was working on at the front. That was jutting forwards a little bit. He's trying to get behind that section. Gosh, that is tough. Wow. That is rock solid. He's going to struggle there to get behind because it's already broken a piece off. You can use the side of the St. Bart's hook sometimes just to push it down. So whether he goes in with something like a rye curette now maybe. Oh no, forceps, okay, yep. So we've got this hard section at the front. It may well have become a little bit weakened now because of that St. Bart's hook kind of pulling through it. You can see how it just compresses almost straight away, but something's on the move here. There's a long strip of dead skin. See underneath you've got that white fluffy material. Now that's the fungal infection you can see. So let's pull this a little bit further. Doesn't help with those little tiny hairs in there as well. That's causing a few issues. So going in now, I think this is a rye curette, or it's an oval Jobson horn. I think that's the rye curette looking at the bend on it. So can we get above? There we go. Is this going to go? There's a lot of pressure. I can see the pressure that's on it there. Yeah, you could see that he was putting a lot of pressure on that top section just to try and get a bit forward momentum. It's whether he can hook in. I don't think he can. Yeah, he's struggling a little bit. Wow, there you go. There's a really good view of that fungal infection beyond. So if he can just get in the gap here, I can pull this front section away if it's not attached to that rear section. Is this going to go? You can see there, like, see there's some of that little bit of fungal material underneath. This is obviously very, very dry in here. Now, what could be happening when you've got this very dry section? We talked about fungal infections love humid environments. If you've got a very, very dry plug of wax right at the entrance to the canal, but with a small gap, now every time you bath or shower or get some water in your ears, what's going to happen is that water's going to go through that gap. You can really see that fungal infection now. It's going to go through that gap and it's going to sit and pool behind that initial front section. Now, when it does that, it means you've got this lovely, warm, humid environment building up behind that initial plug. And I think that's what's happened here. He's having a good old look at that. Let's see what's going to happen here. Is he going to pull this down? He's trying, but the difficulty is here, because it's so brittle, it's actually cleaved it apart. So when he's trying to draw the St. Bart's hook down, what it's doing is just running through that gap all the time. Unless he can, yeah, he's trying to scoop around to the right-hand side to bring this out. I don't know whether this has just been manipulated a bit too much to get a good grip onto this last section. Let's have a little look. Can we do... It's on its way. He's wiggling it back and forth. It's on its way. There you go. Ah, just broke away. That front section just broke away. Can he get to this next bit? I think it's an optimistic choice personally. I think the crocodile forceps. It's difficult because I'm looking at this completely detached from the patient. So unless Taylor can feel a little bit of movement there, I think those forceps were never really going to get beyond that. Especially, I think if we tried it at the start before we tried to pull through, maybe. And that's not a criticism of Taylor, guys. I'm just saying it's you know, you can get. You get a different sensation for it when you're with the patient. You can see what's going and what's not. Oof, gosh, that is dry as a bone. Let's pull this section. Let's have a little look. I really want to see this fungal. Look at that. You can see it all beyond. Lots of hair as well. Now take a look at this piece though. Look at that. Now suddenly, look how humid that ear canal suddenly now become. You know, we've got a lot of humid air all escaping now. We've taken that plug out from the front. He's got, I think this is the rye hook, I think. Yes, rye hook. So he's got the rye hook in here trying to get this last piece out. A lot of hairs. I know you guys are struggling to see what's going on here, and there's a lot of hairs in that outer portion of the ear canal. But when he gets this out, you should be able to see this. My gosh, there's a lot. Wow, look just how furry that is. You know, and this is basically a piece of wax that has a sort of like a fungal colony just growing all around the outside of it. There you go. You can see he's put the suction tube in now to remove some of the humidity. Gosh. Look at all that growing on that plug there. It's almost like somebody's sort of rolled the wax plug in cotton wool or fluff. And that's what you've ended up with, is this really kind of deep, tough plug smothered in fungal infection. This is hard. Getting past this point is going to be difficult unless you can get a really, really good grip here. Is that going to go? Okay, forceps coming back out. Maybe. It looks thicker on the front end. Is that going to pull? Ah, just broke away. Let's get beyond it again. Can we pull this section? Something's moving back there. If you can just reposition now to that thicker section just beyond it. This should do it. That's a good grip. Look at that coming away. I'm really hoping he slows this down so you can see it coming out the camera. Wow, look at that. There is just so much on this. Skin looking relatively healthy. You've got that little sort of white dust. You can see all at the top there, all these little tiny kind of patches of fungal infection, these little tiny spores all around the top. My goodness me. So definitely we'll be sending this patient through now to get treatment done, you'll get some antifungals. A pharmacist, you can buy these over the counter. You don't necessarily need to have them prescribed. So we're looking at 4.5 centimeters. My goodness me, an inch. He zoomed right in there, couldn't see. I think that's 1.5 inches. But look at that, and all the skin as well. That was a good one. You had a mix of pretty much everything in there, guys, with dead skin, wax plugs, hard wax plugs, fungal infection. My goodness, range of tools as well. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed that as much as we did. If you really enjoy the videos, you can always consider subscribing to the channel. If you thoroughly enjoyed it and want even more videos, you can also become members of the channel as well. And that way, then, you get to see even more videos every single week. But until I see you next time, guys, as always, take care of yourselves, take care of your ears, and take care of one another. And I shall see you for the next video. Bye, everybody.